emo guy. And I'm just thinking like, for what nightmare of some demon did this magazine spring forth, you know? Like, that is just the worst way to do it. Even when I don't care if you're 14, you know, don't date someone that you wouldn't consider a marriageable person, a marriageable person, okay? You don't want to practice, it's like you don't want to practice for the track meet by eating a bunch of chicken wings and saying, but I'm going to work real hard when it's time to run. No, you train by running. You train by doing the thing you want to get good at. So date the kind of people you want to marry, and then you'll really be getting the good practice, all right? Don't be like, well, he's popular or she's hot. You know, other than that, I mean, you know, for a little while she'll do. Don't date that way, you know. You'll develop bad habits, and you'll find it hard to break those habits. You'll then start feeling inclined to continue dating the people that you dated before that it didn't work out. So, number 1 on this list of qualities that they must have should always be attraction. Okay? We've talked a lot about like the biology and the chemicals and all of these things. Do not, under any circumstances, say, well, he'll do. You know? He's got a job, you know, his hair is pretty trimmed, you know, whatevs, okay? Don't date someone that looks good on paper. Don't do it. If the attraction is not there, forget it. Attraction is your body's way of telling you that this person would be a suitable partner. Okay? There's a lot of other things you have to look at, okay, to make sure if they're really a suitable partner, but the first sign will be that you're attracted to them. Okay, and that's a very deep brain thing, okay? The heart wants what it wants, okay? I say that when I go to In-N-Out, even though I'm blowing my diet. The heart wants what it wants, okay? But the idea is, you know, you've got to listen to what your body is saying in that sense, okay? If you are not attracted to somebody, that is a sign that you are not meant to be with them, okay? But attraction is not a sign that that's the one for you, but it's like you've passed through the first gate, okay? Secondly, and you'll see why I have it this way, okay? Qualities that they really should have. And you'll see why I make this distinction, okay? It is important to distinguish between qualities that a person must have versus qualities that you really, really want them to have. There is just a difference between those two, okay? So for example, you already got attraction on that first list. There's got to be things like, you want to say they've got to be drug-free. Okay, your list is going to be different than what I'm saying. I'm just saying random things. Except the attraction, that should be the first thing on everybody's list. But beyond that, you want to say, you know, maybe for you want to say that person has to be drug-free. That person has to be employed. That person has to, certain qualities that they must have. And the reason for this second list is so that you can distinguish, do they really have to have it? Because you might say, oh, I want them to have a college degree. But then it's like, well, maybe you meet someone that's like, they didn't go to college, but they went to the army or something, and they're doing all right, and they're making a nice money, and you go, oh, I goofed, okay? You want to have qualities they must have versus qualities that they really should have, okay? Like you might say, well, I want to be with somebody who, doesn't have any children. Is that really a must-have, or is that it would be really nice if? Okay, so that's going to be different for everybody. You have got to discern, okay? You might say, I come from an alcoholic family. I cannot be with a person who drinks. I cannot do it. That's a must-have, okay? Once you have these first two lists, and I'll talk about the third in a moment, you've already accomplished something very, very important, because what this means is that if you go out and you meet some girl, or you're on your online profile and you see this guy, and you're just like, whoa, man, like, I'm so blown away by this person. I can't stop thinking about them. This feels so right. This feels magical. But they do not match the qualities on your must list. You must drop them. You must. Okay? Don't even fool around with this. Don't even fool around with this. Well, I know I shouldn't, but. You know you shouldn't, but your life is going to be hell for the next 5 years. So that's what's going to happen. Don't go that way. Because guess what? You're going to meet someone else, and you're going to have all the same feelings. You're going to have all those same feelings for someone else. Okay? So don't say the stronger of an attraction I have is a sign that I'm especially meant to be with them. I'm going to tell you right now, if you take that philosophy, you're going to cheat on your spouse. Because what's going to happen is you're going to be in that disintegration stage, and you're going to meet someone else, and you're going to say, I've never felt this way before. It's the music, and there's all you need is cartoon birds flying around you and landing on your shoulder. This feels so right, but it is so wrong. It really is. You cannot trust just those feelings. Feelings are important, but on their own, they are not enough. And they can lead you down the path of destruction and sadness for you and many people, okay? So if that person is not on your must list, even though it's going to feel like kind of a breakup before you even started dating, you can't do it. Get away. Find someone else, okay? The third list. Qualities that would be nice if they had them. And I'll tell you why we have this list. There could be like a little thing like this, like, you know, they like to travel. They know another language. They can play a musical instrument, you know. Little things that you might think are nice, okay? That list is just for fun, okay? That's to go nuts, just imagine. But it's important that you do this list because you can see that those qualities are down here. They are not up here. Oftentimes someone will break up and be like, but you don't understand, you know, I wanted with that person because they had all of these qualities that I just fell in love with. More often than not, they're going to be down here. You know, they're going to be things like, you don't understand, like he was, you know, he had such a way with words, or you don't understand, you know, she had this cute way that she would, you know, kind of turn sideways in the chair and when she was talking to you, you know what I mean? That's one of my old girlfriends, you know, you'd be in the car and the way she kind of sit, well, it was cute, you know? But I mean, you know, you go, well, the next girl's not going to do that. Here's the thing, the next girl's going to do different things. That's going to really, like, be really cool and really like, oh, the way she twirls her hair or whatever, you know? Like some cute little thing, okay? Oh, it's really neat, you know, she's been to a lot of countries, or she's, you know, there are going to be these other qualities. Write them because they're fun. But the purpose of this list is to see that the person you are going to meet, that you are attracted to, and that has the qualities they must have, as well as a lot of qualities that they really should have, okay? That they're going to have completely different things on number 3, and you're going to be just okay with that. You know, you're going to be just okay. That's why you write that list. So you can say, like, that's something that's going to be different for everybody. And things that I could have never anticipated about this person. You know, and it's like, oh, wow, she paints. Like, that's cool. I hadn't even thought of that. Like, how cool it'd be to be someone who can paint so well. You know? And whatever it is, it's some quality they have that you're like, they tell good jokes, whatever. You know, that's something that surprises you, but everybody's going to be different. And it's important because then when you go through a breakup and you start going, but I'll never find someone who has this, 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 and that. You can say, doesn't matter. That's right. Maybe the next person you meet will not have those really awesome qualities of that former boyfriend or girlfriend of yours. But the next person you're going to meet is going to have something else. And you're going to like that too. And you're going to like it just as much. The person that you date should have every single thing on this list number 1. If even one of these is off, do not date that person. Do not date them. Do not date them. In terms of the really should have, that's where you get to kind of make up your mind and go, well, they're missing a couple of these, you know? They've got some but not others. But then you get to use, that's when you get to discern, okay? That's fine. This you do not discern about. This is going to get you locked into something bad, okay? But if you say, yeah, they've got every quality on my must list, and you know, they've got a lot on the really should list, and this is important to distinguish, so you can distinguish between what they must have and what they really should have. By the way, you have to make this list before you meet the person. Okay, it doesn't make sense to meet the person and be like, yeah, I don't care if they have a job or not. You know, you've got to plan that out ahead of time. Can you change your list? Of course you can. But you can't change it for a person you already met. With time, you might say, you know what, I thought about this, and I really feel like there are some things in this category that I can move to this category. Okay? I've been a little picky on some of these things, you know? Well, he has to have clean fingernails. I can't deal with dirty fingernails. Well, you know, he works in a yard. He works outside, you know? So is that really a must-have? Okay. So you can change it, but change it before you meet the next person. Okay? Do it and be happy for life. Any questions? Yeah.
I had a question about the section you talked about before this one.
The four horsemen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as contempt goes, on both spectrums, how do you alleviate some of it? Whether they, you know, hold contempt towards you, or whether you hold contempt towards someone.
That's a very good question. What if you are at that point of contempt? How do you fix that? The way you fix it is a proper communication. Okay? Proper communication. And so what proper communication means is it's avoiding, if you can fix these two, you're going to fix this one. Okay? Let me tell you about an exercise I do with couples. Okay? I get a couple that comes in, they're like, just everything's falling apart. It's a total nightmare. I sit them down and I say, okay, say the husband, or I say the wife. Okay, I'm thinking of a particular example. I say to the wife, okay, tell your husband in like 2 sentences what the issue is. And they'll look at me and they go, well, I'm upset that I tell your husband, okay? I'm upset that you come home from work and you don't spend any time with me. You go right back to the computer. Okay? I look at the husband and I say, okay, what did she just say? Oh man, the look of shock on their faces. What? Can you say it again? Well, guess what's happening at home? She's saying stuff to him and it's going right over his head. And there's no communication. And when there's no proper communication, those horses are getting ready to come out of their stalls. Okay? So I say this. I'll say to the guy, okay, let's try again. I'll say to the wife, okay, tell him again. She says, I'm upset because it seems that every day you come home and you don't spend any time with me. You go straight back to the computer. I'll go, okay, what did she say? He'll go, she said, I go, tell her. You said that you're upset that I'm working so much and that I'm so tired. I go, is that what she said? She goes, nope. I go, try again. I have had this go on, and the guy goes, this is hard, man. And I go, she's saying that she's upset that you often come home and it seems like you go straight back to the computer without talking to her. Is that what you said? Uh-huh. It's a skill. It's a skill. But being able to hear what that person said and repeat it back to them. When you can repeat back to somebody what they said to you, then they know that they were understood. 99% of the bad fighting is happening because people are not speaking to each other where they understand one another. They are speaking at each other, and they are preparing what they're going to say to the other person. Well, you're not having a discussion. You're throwing things at each other, but using words instead of objects. Okay? So that is a very, very essential part of that, is being able to communicate properly. If that happens, the contempt goes away. Because the contempt is like, this jerk isn't listening to me. This jerk is so selfish. This jerk is so self-centered. And then once they go, wow, this person's really listening to me, and I feel like I'm being understood, and now I can respond to that. And, you know, then the contempt melts away. Like the snow in the noonday sun. Other questions? Awesome. Okay, I'm going to leave for you my email address. If you do think of any other questions or anything like that, feel free to email me. I am down in Greenfield, about a half hour south of here, exit to exit, at Holy Trinity Church. But, you know, if you ever need to come see me, just call the church, call my secretary, email me, whatever you want to do. It's all good in the hood. Let me write my email address. It's a very long email address, okay? Somebody else took the website name that I wanted. Some Holy Trinity Church in Greenfield, Massachusetts. So, anyway, so this is my email address. I'm going to start it over here, okay? It's FR, that's for father, Clifton.